Good morning, guys. Welcome back to another trading session. Oh my god. Another day, another trading session. It is Thursday, so it was NFP. NFP got anticipated because tomorrow we will have the 4th of July in the United States. So yeah, NFP action, which is usual at the first Friday of the month, got anticipated to Thursday, which is today. Yeah, so I hope you're doing well. I hope your week is doing well as well. So we will have a bigger weekend, a larger weekend. So it will be a 3-day weekend. Here in Portugal it will not be, but I will try to stay away from the markets on the 4th of July. Makes no sense for me to try to engage with the markets on a bank holiday. So yeah, tomorrow there will be no stream, and probably the next week will be a slow week as well. So I will not be streaming so often. I will take some days to get on a holiday, and yeah, it will be a slow week. I don't know if I will be on stream the next week, but I will eventually tell you through the YouTube posts which days I will be streaming, or if I will not be streaming at all. So yeah, guys, let's go straight into the charts. Let's start with the higher time frames. As you can see, we had an FP today, so ES finally reached all-time highs. It has been a grind to the upside on them here on ES since we came down here. Yeah, the last couple of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, the last 8 days have been green candles to the upside, reaching for all-time highs. It was reached right at Thursday NFP day. If you take a measure of the last swing low here, inside this consolidation here, you can see that we are inside of the 4 standard deviation. I measured it some days ago, and as you can see, we had we kind of respected quite fairly here, and eventually here price is stopping right here at -4. But yeah, on all-time highs, we can always expect that price will eventually continue to expand. So I believe there's a lot of people short with a bearish bias, and yeah, it makes me think about when everybody has the same bias and is trying to short all-time highs. It reminds me of that retail logic, which is okay, you have a double top or a triple top or whatever, and I will just sell this at all-time highs and try to get some kind of a retrace. So I'm expecting a lot of people trying to sell this, and maybe we will continue expanding to the upside until nobody knows. What's this? Oh, never this never happened to me. So now TopStep. What's the news here? Just like this? I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, just let me do one thing that I forgot to do. Yes, lock it. Okay. So right now I'm probably expecting a continuation to the upside. I'm not expecting bearish retrace eventually. I know that there's a lot of liquidity here below. If you look at this price action here, there's a lot of liquidity here below as well. But yeah, I guess we have to keep in mind that retail logic usually fails, and whenever there's people trying to sell all-time highs, price will eventually grind into the upside. So now we are in an unknown territory for ES. There's no price action to our left. So the thing that we can do here is only project price to the upside. It's kind of hard to trade at all-time highs. because you never know when it's going to end. The seek for higher prices, and yeah, it can be tricky. So you have to project price in order to have a measure to where price wants to go. If we take eventually, this is the last swing low here. If we take a measure from this one, yeah, we can see that price already projected itself far away from the -4 standard deviation here. So I guess we will have to try to find some new projections on higher time frames, just to see and just to have a measure about where price really wants to go from here. Just let me check the 15-minute. The 15-minute can eventually give us another DM. So yeah, we have this 15-minute here inside this consolidation, the last swing to the downside, and as you can see here, this one is fairly respected, as you can see. So looking at it, price is now touching -2.5 standard deviation, and whenever price reaches for a -2.5 standard deviation, you can eventually expect or a continuation to the upside, and usually that upside is quite quick, reaching for -4, or eventually we can expect some kind of a retrace. So things are not quite clear, as you can see here, but yeah, let's see how we can frame some setups, or if we will just be observing the market. So far, price is moving to the upside, so nothing bearish here. Let me just frame everything first. So we have the first presented fair value gap here as well. First presented fair value gap, and yeah, let's see how price behaves from here. Let's see if it really wants to retrace a little bit, since we are hitting -2.5 standard deviation with the projection that we have on the 15-minute here, as you can see, or if it wants to keep grinding higher. At this point, we already took buy-side liquidity as data highs here, and price is just continuing to the upside. So it can be a vertical price action type, and if so, there's nothing we can do, because we don't know where it will eventually stop. So let's see if we have some setup formation, and let's see if price will give us something to work with, but I don't believe that it will be a clear setup today. Oh, I'm sorry about the music. Yeah, I forgot to turn it off. Thank you. Yeah, maybe I will have to repeat what I've just said. Yeah, I was telling you guys that I was not expecting bearish price action. This can eventually be a continuation of the expansion to the upside. If you look into retail logic, and usually retail logic is kind of wrong. they always try to sell it some kind of double tops or triple tops or whatever. And yeah, I can imagine a lot of people trying to sell as soon as price reaches here. So that's why I'm not expecting bearish price action. I'm expecting eventually continuation to the upside. Um, but yeah, it will be hard to frame anything. I've just I've just took a projection on price here from the last swing low on this consolidation here. And as you can see, price is trying to reach above minus 2.5 standard deviation here. It can eventually reach for -4 on a continuation to the upside. But yeah, it will be kind of hard to frame anything here because price can eventually um, project itself on a vertical way, not giving us any chance to enter some kind of a long position. So yeah, let's see if we will have any kind of chance to interact with the market or if we will just observe and yeah, learn something from it. Um, at this point, buy side liquidity as data highs, yeah, they have been taken here. So in order to continue to the upside, I would like to see some kind of a manipulation to the downside, taking out some form of um, liquidity. If you look at the regular trading hours, you can see that there's a lot of space in between the close and the open from yesterday's price action and today's price action. So there's a gap of about, yeah, it's not that big. It's a gap of about 20 handles, but let's see if price really wants to come down a little bit, retrace into it just to rebalance things, or if it will just continue to the upside. The most logical thing is price to continue to the upside, but at this point, I'm willing to believe that we can eventually retrace a bit, not being totally bearish, because yeah, I don't believe that. But we might need to retrace a bit since we are just moving to the upside since the open. It can be some kind of a Judas swing to the upside as well. So yeah, we have to keep everything that I've said in mind and look for whatever price action will give us. So yeah, guys, looking into ES and NQ. NQ seems like it's trying to invert this fair value gap here, um, the 930 fair value gap, which can give us some kind of intention on price to comfort these lows here on NQ. But yeah, ES is just hanging here on the upside. So we just have to wait for ES to come a little bit lower, eventually invert the first presented fair value gap, invert this one as well, just to take a measure of a short to reach for eventually data lows, midnight open, 8:30 open, and take all this liquidity that's stating here before the open. So NQ is it's a bit heavier. It kind of inverted the first presented fair value gap. It's reaching for the bottom of the 930 fair value gap as well. But yeah, let's wait. I'm just marking here the 950 to 1010 macro as well, just to see if it gives us anything here inside this time window. Let me check the other time frames. So I had another projection here, an older one, which comes from the price section of the 22nd, 23rd of July, where we have this swing low here. And if I projected it to the upside, it gave me a perfect confluence with all-time highs at -4 standard deviation. So this was quite accurate as well. As you can see here, price just respected it almost to the tick. These first projections here, as you can see, -1, -1.5, -2. Yeah, price stopped right here a bit, -2.5 as well. So here it was a retrace after -2.5, and then this was some kind of a harsh price action here in between 2.5 and -4. But yeah, we were able to hit -4 today with the NFP expanding price to the upside. Yeah, so far price is just hanging here at the upside, above the first presented fair value gap, above data highs. Usually data highs and data lows are important liquidity points, and usually price tends to explore those liquidity points. But since we are expanding to the upside, it's kind of hard to believe that we will see data lows today. So let's see. Well, let's see what price really wants to do. At this point, we have some kind of an SMT in between NQ and ES on the lower time frames. So ES just made a new high here, while NQ is just mumbling around this this bearish leg. Yes, trying to push further away here. Let me just check here, this one. Yeah, this one is a minor projection on price, which has, like I said, it has some confluence as well. So I think I will use this projection just to have a measure of where price wants to do in this session. This is a small time window projection just for this price action. So yeah, so far ES is a bit stronger than NQ. Yesterday it was the opposite. And yesterday we had a strong NQ and a relative weak ES. Kind of, as you can see, it was a grind to the upside, but yeah, it was not that clean on of an upside. I was able to take out some here, but this small movement here took me about 1 hour, so not that clean of a price action. Um, I guess the cleanest one was right at the open, but honestly, I was expecting something bearish and something lower eventually to these relative equal highs. That's why I did not take the setup that was presented right at the open. I kind of identified it, but yeah, since my BIOS was not in place with the market, with what the market was doing, I decided not to take it. So yeah, right now we are just observing. Keep in mind that I guess I guess we will have an early close on the markets as well. So keep that in mind. Tomorrow we will have bank holiday as well, the 4th of July. So keep those things in mind and don't try to force anything. So yeah, so far we are just having this vertical price action, and whenever you have this type of price action, it's kind of hard to interact with because it lacks some structure. You never know when price will eventually give up from the upside, um, and that's why it's kind of hard to interact with it. I don't know why TopStep is giving me this information, but okay, I guess that's fine. So yeah, we are pushing higher and pushing higher since the open. So this is a one-sided market since the open. We are almost, I guess we are entering the first macro of the morning. So 9:50 macro, the first macro of the New York AM session. And Q struggling a bit to make a new high while ES is just driving itself to the upside. So everything here is uncharted territory. We don't have any type of information to our left. So all-time highs, and all-time highs are kind of tricky to work with. We honestly made nice move to the upside on the American indices, as you can see here. If I take a look at the weekly, yeah, we expanded quite fast. Price just came for 2 weeks here at a discount, and as soon as it closed above discount, yeah, we just run higher, and yeah, and practically make no stops. If we look into the daily, even the daily, yeah, if I take a look at the daily here and try to stretch it, look how far we need to go to go back to premium, to go back to equilibrium. At this point, we would need to, yeah, we would need to lose about 11% just to hit equilibrium once again. I don't think we will do it in the next couple of weeks. And price is just pushing higher inside the macro as well. So we already hit -4 standard deviation. And look, just watch here where price just stopped to the tick here. And let's see if it wants to progress higher. Usually in a strong bullish market, you can expect for price to reach for -4, -6 eventually. Yeah, so far bullish PD arrays are being respected. Everything that's bullish is being respected. There's nothing bearish here. Even the order blocks are being respected. And yeah, they are not being disrespected at all. As you can see here, first order block, it was just bullish order block. Yeah, it was just retraced in a 1 minute candle. The next one took a little bit more, but price never closed below it. And yeah, everything that's bullish is just being respected. Let's see if price wants to run until -6. We still have on a higher time frame projection here, we still have -4, a little bit above. So 6333 should be the -4 standard deviation for a 15-minute, I guess it's the 15-minute, yeah, projection. It is. So we are still observing. There's nothing we can do here. So yeah, guys, while we are just waiting for Price to give us anything, just tell me, guys, where are you guys from? If you already took any type of trades today, or if you will just observe. But yeah, tell me where you from. Where are you guys from? For those who don't know, I'm from Portugal, from a town called from a city called Aveiro. It's a city next to the sea. It's a beautiful city. It's like the yeah people call it the Portuguese Venice. It has nothing to do with Venice, but yeah, people call it because we have some I don't know how to call it in English because I don't think there's a translation for ria. It's like a river that goes inside a city, but we don't call it river. We call it ria. Um, yeah. Meanwhile, NQ just made a new high as well. It's reaching higher. So yeah, guys. So far, the rate of price action. I was expecting higher prices. I was not expecting a retrace to the downside or trying to sell anything at the first minutes of the open, because that would be some kind of retail logic, and usually retail logic is kind of wrong. And yeah, so far we just have the vertical price action. Doesn't mean that we can't retrace, but yeah, we retracing right at the open, that would be too easy. So price stopped right at -4 standard deviation. This is usually this is a projection where price really stops and give us some kind of a retrace. But since we are so bullish and since we are at all-time highs, we have to make some room for what we can eventually expect. We have to be flexible because price can eventually drive higher and in a faster and quicker way, where it can eventually um, retrace lower also quickly to just continue higher. But yeah, so far, as you can see, another bullish PDA array is being respected. Nice reaction here. Well, usually people try to or tend to ask, well, so if you guys know that price is, or if you have a feeling that price will go and stretch to the upside, why don't you try to engage with price action. But because, first of all, there's no manipulation to the downside. I like to see a manipulation taking out sell side liquidity first before engaging. Um, the the sell side purge should be like a it should be like a train stopping at a at a station, because if you look into it into this price action, this is just a train, not stopping at any station. So if you are willing to enter or try to chase a train that's not stopping, well, that's a risky move, right? That's a risky move that you can eventually get into that train, but the most probable thing is that you might get hurt. You might fall from the train. You might not grab it. You might not catch it, and yeah, you will end up below the rails. So it makes no sense for me to try to engage with this type of price action, which is a vertical price action. It's just like a running train. Let me see if I have a train here. Yeah, we should have here somewhere. Yeah, I guess this is a speed train. Oops. Hmm. Should be I should be able to invert this one. No, that's not possible. Let me just check here. Is there any other train? Yeah, okay, I guess this one might do it. So yeah, this is just like a running train, which has no stop points, or it has minor stop points here on bullish fair value gaps. Yeah, ICT talks about this type of price action, and yeah, he usually says that these type of sessions are sessions that are prone to do two things, or you end up on the sidelines and just wait for something to happen, a retrace, a change in the state of delivery, um, or you just have to buy any kind of fair value gaps to the upside. Um, but since I'm not that comfortable doing that, I guess I will stay on the sidelines because, like like I've been telling you guys, we don't have any type of price action to our left. This is uncharted territory, and we never know when price eventually can stop. This should be a logical stop here, -4 standard deviation, and price really kind of stopped for a while, but did not give us a retrace or did not took any kind of major sell side. So this for me is buying any type of bullish or value gap. It's like being on a market with and triggering and pushing the buy button with my eyes closed. So I'm not comfortable with that. This was probably the entry at the macro hour here, as you can see. This retrace was inside a macro, so this could eventually be the setup for the morning. But yeah, that's not my cup of tea, honestly. I need to see something more. I need to see some more structure here. This all gives me uh yeah, this makes me question, where should I put my stop, right? I need to have at least 3 PD arrays to protect my position. So this one should be the first one, the fair value gap, this order block, and the next order block. So this should be my my stop loss size. But if price would do something like this, coming back to the first presented fair value gap and going once again to the upside, that would be acceptable for price to do something like that. So uh, I wouldn't be wrong, but yeah, that's why I'm not interacting with price action like this, because I never know where price wants to retrace. So at this point, we still have 1 minute before the macro just ends. Yeah, guys, if you guys if you guys are liking so far the read of price action that I'm making here, just hit the like button. If you know someone who is interested in trading and interested in learning something, yeah, just tell them that there's a guy named Miguel that's trading every day here and sharing some knowledge as well. Bringing more people in, it's always better because we can eventually share some ideas, some setups, learn from each other, and yeah. Well, at this point, I think price will really hit -4 standard, -6 standard deviation. It's just a matter of time. So, guys, have you taken any positions yet, or are you just observing? Let me just put here -5 just to see. Yeah, we are at -5 here. Okay. This point, price is starting to accumulate a bit. If it really wants to go for -6, I'm expecting something like this. Let me just draw it here. So this should be some type of accumulation. Then we should manipulate to the downside. And eventually expand a little bit higher. We'll see if this gets respected or not. At this point, in order to be expecting some type of a retrace to the downside, yeah, I would need price to make a huge move to the downside. Um, doesn't seem like that. So that's why I believe we still have more upside, a little bit more upside to go. Price taking some time here. Let me just check the 5 minutes just to see. Yeah, first fair value gap here. We have another one here. This was not touched. We have another one here. So yeah, this might be one of those sessions where you buy every fair value gap. Seems easy, but in fact, I'm not used to this type of action. So that's why I'm not comfortable just buying every fair value gap that's being tested. But yeah, price just took out the low, manipulated a bit to the downside, and now I'm expecting it to continue a little bit higher, eventually until -6 standard deviation. Let's see if it will happen or not, or if it's just playing with us. Well, the bias for the session was correct. I was looking for a continuation of the expansion. The only thing that was missing here was some type of manipulation to the downside. I guess this was the manipulation here. It happened pre-open, so 8:45, and yeah, we started charting at 9:30, and yeah, there's no manipulation after 9:30, so there was no opportunity to interact with anything. So get used to it. If you are into trading, get used to not being able to interact with the market with the market every time, especially on days like this where price just runs 0.5%, about 30 handles, and yeah, and you have just you can't do anything. You are only allowed to watch price action. Yeah, so far accumulation, manipulation to the downside, not that of a big manipulation. I was expecting eventually for price to come at this fair value gap, but if we leave this open, if price leaves this one open, this will be a breakaway gap. I don't think I have it here. Yeah, I don't. This would be a breakaway gap. Just let me breakaway gap. So yeah, if price really leaves this open, this should act as a breakaway gap. Price will never return to it and will continue expanding to the upside. So far in Q, it's doing almost the same as ES. So it did not formed that SMT, the SMT that was right at the beginning of the stream. Yeah, it was not confirmed. Even on the lower time frames. So if price really wants to move until -6, it should retrace. It should expand in the next couple of minutes. Notice how we accumulated for some minutes, manipulated to the downside with 3 fast candles to the downside, but right away we the retrace stopped above the bullish fair value gap. We kind of inverted these tiny bearish fair value gaps. I mean, this was the bullish one, yeah. We inverted these tiny bearish fair value gaps, came back inside the accumulation, ripped a bit higher, retraced back, and now we should see some follow through here, which is something like this. Wow. Coming up, retracing back down inside, and eventually do something like this. This is what I'm expecting for price. And as soon as we hit -6 standard deviation here, now then I would like to see some reaction on price, because there's a lot of, if you look into the 15-minute, there's a lot of inefficiencies. We have about, let me just check. Yeah, we have 2 inefficiencies, 3. Yeah, we have some inefficiencies on the 15-minute. So as soon as we hit -6, I would like to see some type of displacement to the downside, and then start a move lower just to rebalance this price action, because should be interesting to see price coming to equilibrium once again, reaching for equilibrium, eventually to the first presented fair value gap, and then continuing higher. Yeah. Because if you zoom out a little bit, here you have some type of consolidation, then boom, price reached higher, higher once again. And now I would like to see another run higher, taking out everybody who's trying to sell here. And then if we reach lower, we might have some type of a market maker sell model to the downside. But this is speculation. And the market maker sell model would present itself like, let me just check. So here we have the consolidation, first expansion, retrace, another expansion, retrace a little bit, and then do something like this. And yeah, we should form something like this just to make price come back to those inefficiencies on the 15 minutes. But this is pure speculation, because in order to have that market maker sell model, I would like to see price staying below eventually this low here, and wait for the second distribution of the market maker sell model. All this if price really wants to come a little bit lower and rebalance those inefficiencies. At this point I will take this out. It's just making noise. And this is the type of action that I would like to see, honestly, right now. First, second, eventually coming here, and then wow, wow. Something like this would be interesting to see. So yeah, price really stopped here at -5, I think. Yeah, it did. We are at this level for about 30 minutes since the macro. And yeah, macro did not deliver how we were expecting. I was expecting the macro to deliver at -6, but it kind of stopped at -5. We still have about 15 minutes for the next macro. So this can be a macro to macro move. $10.50 to $11.10. Let's just see. So, let me grab another cup of water. Need to hydrate myself. It's the last couple of days here in Portugal. Yeah, they have been quite hot. It's about, I don't know, it's about 26 degrees Celsius here where I live. It's quite hot. So it seems like price woke up a little bit. We are approaching 10.50. Let's just see if we will um, reach for -6. And then let's just see what happens as soon as we reach for -6. So there we go. -6 reaching. So this was a huge consolidation here, but as you can see, and as I stated before, this was really the accumulation. This small box here. We had a tiny manipulation since price is kind of bullish. This was the manipulation, and eventually the distribution to the upside until -6. So it took a long time here just to see this develop. But now, since we are reaching for -6, I would like to see price enticing some more longs here, eventually giving us some kind of a displacement, offering us a bullish fair value gap. And as soon as the fair value gap is formed, it will be inverted to the downside eventually in between 10.50 to 11.10, and offering us a market maker sell model just to rebalance some of these inefficiencies that I can see on the 15-minute time frame. So far, we have this bullish fair value gap here. So this setup, yeah, it would be a winner setup, but where should you put your stop loss, right? Below this fair value gap, you should, yeah, you could but yeah, would not be an enticing trade, honestly, an enticing setup offering us a good risk to reward. At this point, and Q is, yeah, it's not making this distribution or the expansion to the upside. It's just continuing the accumulation. Price is approaching 1050, so if 1050 offers some type of displacement to the downside, inverting some of these bullish PD arrays, I guess we will have some type of a setup. But if price on the other hand just keeps grinding to the upside, I will probably close the stream, because yeah, there's no point taking longs here. Yeah, very still price action right now. I'm just waiting for 1050, and yeah, just to see if it will offer us something tradable or not. 1 minute before the macro. So let's see if price really wants to retrace a bit inside the macro. This was a macro to macro move, as you can see here. So the buy was here at the fair value gap. We were in a premium, but yeah, since price was so bullish, it worked. And projected price from -4 standard deviation to -6. And now, honestly, I would like to see some type of displacement to the downside, eventually taking out these lows, disrespecting bullish PD arrays, because what I really can see is a market maker buy model here, and I would like to explore the opposite, which is the market maker sell model that can eventually start from here. Well, NQ is heading to the downside here, while ES is still here on the upside. We kind of rejected -4, -6 standard deviation. But I would like to see some follow through to the downside. Yeah, very slow price action since 10 a.m. I guess the first 30 minutes were quite good, but until there, price just moved 6 handles. So if we zoom out a little bit, you can see that yeah, it made a good run the first 30 minutes of the session, but since then price has not moved at all. Yeah, and Q moved into the 15-minute fair value gap, uh, and it's kind of reacting to it. It has a good bullish reaction, but yeah, not convincing me. We still have about 15 minutes inside the macro, so I guess I will wait until the end of the macro. If the macro does not offer us anything, I will end the stream. Okay. Now, since we already reached for the target here, we have another accumulation here. So this is another accumulation. I would like to see eventually a move higher just to entice more players and then distribute lower. We still have 10 minutes inside the inside the macro. Let's just see if we will manipulate prices moving towards what we were expecting here. Very slow price action at the moment, so price is really doing what we were expecting, but it's acting too slow. So at this point, I'm just waiting for NQ to hit another all-time high. Meanwhile, ES is offering bullish fair value gaps here. Let's see if NQ gives us another all-time high. That could be the trigger for ES to start moving a little bit lower, since we have a lot of inefficiencies on ES right on the 15-minute time frame. But at the same time, NQ just reacted quite well at the 15-minute fair value gap, the bullish one. So let's see. We are still inside the macro. We need some more handles on NQ just to hit another all-time high. And we are also approaching the 2-hour mark here on the stream. Yeah, very slow price action here. Seems like price moved a lot, but that's why it's just because I'm quite zoomed in here. Yeah, and I guess the macro just ended here. So we are in post 11 a.m. territory. Um, I just wanted to see NQ doing another high and see the reaction after it. We are handles away from it, so just a couple of handles. Yeah, meanwhile, you just closed the 15-minute candle. It gave us, it almost gave us a new all-time high. And now I would like to see a reaction lower from here. If it doesn't deliver in the next 5 minutes, I will probably end the stream. So there we go. This is what we were looking for. Now let's just see if this is somehow of a manipulation just to keep going higher, or if we will maintain this move to the to the downside, because NQ did not took the highs. That's why I'm not trusting this. Yes, did not took the high as well, so it formed these relative equal highs here. But at this point, this one is inverted. Yeah, NQ is still heading to the upside. Yes, did not form the breaker. The breaker should be this one here, the bearish. The bearish breaker was not formed, so I guess we will move a little bit more, trying to take these highs. The same on NQ. Yeah, it seems like NQ is pushing yes a little bit. It's not allowing yes to come lower. Seems like NQ has unfinished business on the upside. Now we have the breaker. And this should be the setup here. Yeah, yes, this will not work eventually. I was trying to seek for this liquidity here down, but price is really pushing to the upside. And Q took the highs, but displaced lower, but it's moving to the upside once again. So hmm? Okay. Yeah, I guess these relative equal highs, the price left here. Yeah, these were made on purpose just to seek a little bit higher. Um, and that's why the setup is kind of failing here. NQ is pushing a little bit lower, while ES is trying to move price higher. At this point, I think I will have to close this position. It makes no sense. It will seek for these relative equal highs here. So yeah. It was kind of a shame that it didn't work. But NQ really needed to push price a little bit further. And there we go. Got stopped out here. It is what it is. At least we tried here. But I guess these relative equal highs should not be here to take a short position here. So yeah, guys, I guess that's it for today. We end up the stream with a loss. It is what it is. Next time we will try to do better. The setup didn't work. I guess these relative equal highs that were left behind dictated that price would eventually go to the upside once again. And yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, guys, thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for interacting with me. Thank you very much for your presence. Tomorrow I won't be streaming. It's the 4th of July, so there will be another stream next week. I'm not sure about the next stream, the next week's schedule, because I will be on holiday. So I will notice you on the YouTube posts, which will be my calendar for the next week. So yeah, I will keep in touch and hope you guys have a nice holiday tomorrow and a nice weekend as well. So thank you very much for being here. Have a nice afternoon as well. And thank you very much once again. Bye.